Hi, I want to practice English reading with you. My book is The House on Mango Street. I want to practice a reading session. Uh, After reading, I want to correct my mispronunciation mistakes. Can you help me?
Yeah, absolutely. I can help you work on your pronunciation. How about you read a short passage and I'll let you know if anything sounds a little off. Where do you want to start?
Okay.
Great. I'm ready whenever you are. Just start reading whenever you feel comfortable.
Page 42. Lucy, his cousin, and his other cousin. Downstairs, downstairs from Mimi's in a basement apartment that Mimi's mother fixed up and rented to a Puerto Rican family. Lucy's family. Lucy's is the oldest in a family of little sisters. He is my brother's friend, really. But I know he has two cousins and the, his t-shirt never stayed tucked in his pants.
That was great. You're reading reading with a good pace. I did notice a couple of words like cousin. It sounded like you said cousin. And basement came out a little like basement. Were those just slips or do you want to try saying them again? Keep reading whenever you're ready.
Cousin, basement, cousin, basement.
That's it. Perfect. That's it. Perfect. You got those pronunciations down. Now, do you want to keep reading or did you want to talk about what those words mean?
No, I want to keep reading.
Sounds good. Let's keep going with the story then. I'm ready whenever you start reading again.
Lucy's girl cousin is older than us. She lives with Lucy's family because her own family is in Puerto Rico. Her name is Marie or Maris or something like that, and she wears dark nylons all the time and lots of makeup she gets free from selling Avon. She can't come out, got a babysit with Louis' sisters, but she stands in the doorway a lot, all the time singing, clicking her fingers, and same song.
Wow, lots of good reading there. You did great with Puerto Rico. It sounded like you hesitated on singing, but pronounced it perfectly after that. Now, would you like to continue with the story? Or maybe talk about these new characters, Marin and Lewis?
No, I want to continue reading.
Okay, continuing with the story then. I'm ready whenever you start reading again.
Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie, you are in love, and so are ya. Louis, Louis has another cousin. We only saw him once, but it was important. We were playing volleyball in the alley when he drove up in this great big yellow Cadillac with white walls and a yellow scarf tied around her middle. Lucy's cousin has Lucy cousin had his arm out the window. He honked a couple of times and a lot of faces looked out from Lucy's back window and then a lot of people came out, Lucy, Marine, and all the little sisters. Please correct me.
You're doing really well. I noticed the word Cadillac. You said it more like Cadillac. And also, white walls came out like white wokes. Other than those small things, your reading is very clear. Do you want to try saying those words again or continue reading?
Cadillac, white wall.
Almost. Maybe try emphasizing the L sound at the end a little more, like walls. Want to give it another shot?
White walls.
Exactly. You nailed it that time. So, do you want to keep reading from there?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm ready whenever you start reading again.
Everybody looked inside the car and asked where he got it. There were white rugs and white leather seats. We all asked for a ride and asked where he got it. Louis' cousin said, "Get in."
You're doing perfectly with the reading. You have a great grasp on it. Do you want to keep going with the story, or maybe talk a bit about what just happened, with everyone piling into the car?
Yes, I want to keep reading.
All right, chapter 10 continues. I'm ready whenever you start reading again.
We each had to sit with one of Louis' little sisters on our lap, but that was okay. The seats were big and soft like a sofa, and there was a little white cat in the back window, whose eyes lit up when the car stopped or turned. The window didn't roll up like in ordinary cars. Instead, there was a button that did it for you automatically. We rode up the alley and around the block 6 times, but Louis' cousin said he was going to make us walk home if we didn't stop playing with the windows or touching the FM radio.
Correction. Correction. That was some great reading. It sounded like you paused to think on ordinary, but you said it perfectly right after. Now, do you want to continue reading to see what happens next, or talk about the ride in the car?
No, I want to read it. Continue.
All right, sounds good. Let's keep going with the story then. I'm ready whenever you start reading.
The seventh time we drove into the alley, we heard sirens. Real quiet at first, but then louder. Louis' cousin stopped the car right where we were and said, "Everybody out of the car." Then he looked off, flooring that car into a yellow blue. We hardly had time to think when the cop car pulled in the alley going just as fast. We saw the yellow Cadillac at the end of the block trying to make a left-hand turn, but our alley is too skinny and the car crashed into a lamp post.
Wow, and that's how the story ends. You did great with sirens and corrected yourself on cops. I know it sounded like you started to say something like crop. Were there any other words you wanted to go over, or do you want to talk about what happens next in the story?
No, I want to finish my story first.
I understand. Wanting to see how it concludes, it sounds like you've gotten to the really dramatic part. Do you want to keep reading from where you left off, or maybe talk about what you think might happen next?
Yeah, I want to finish my reading first.
Got it. Finishing the reading. I'm ready whenever you begin reading again.
Marin screamed and we ran down the block to where the cop cars siren sounded a DC blue. The nose of the yellow Cadillac was all plated like an alligator's and expect for a bloody lip and the bruised forehead. Lucius' cousin was okay. They put handcuffs and on him and put him in the back seat of the cop car, and we all waved as they drove away.
Correction. You made a great connection at the end there with handcuffs. And also, I noticed the word screamed. You said it more like sclaimed. And bruised sounded more like bruised. Overall, though, you did really well finishing the story.
Scream,
Do you want to...
bruised, scream, bruised, scream, bruised, scream.
Yes, just like that. Perfect pronunciation. Now, would you like to practice those words a bit more? Or do you want to talk about what happens next to Louis' cousin?
I want to practice with my mispronunciation word one by one. Can you help me for that?
Definitely. I can help with that. We can take them one by one. We covered screamed and bruised before. Which word did you want to start with now? Or did you want me to suggest one?
Screamed, bruised.
Okay, want to try that a pair again? Let's start with screamed. How about you say that one for me?
Screamed,
Perfect. Couldn't be better. Now, let's try bruised.
bruised, bruised, bruised.
Almost. You said boost, which is a different word. Let's focus on the middle sound and the ending of bruised. Try saying bruised with a long U and a Z sound at the end.
Bruised,
Want to give it another shot?
bruised, bruised, bruised.
Yes, you got it. That was perfect pronunciation. You're really getting the hang of those. Is there another word from the story you'd like to work on, or are you happy with how you're doing?
I want to highlight chunks word in this paragraph. Can you help me for practice chunk words?
Yeah, absolutely. Breaking things down into chunks can make it much easier to manage. Which longer word from the story would you like to start with? We can break it into smaller parts together.
I want to start with beginning. Can you highlight chunk words available in this story? This reading paragraph.
I can definitely give you some suggestions. Longer words like automatically, ordinary, or even volleyball can be tricky. We could break those down. Which one sounds like a good place to start? Or is there another word you had in mind?
Actually, I want to practice phrases. We can use another sentence also. Can you highlight that phrases, chunk words like
Phrases, definitely. We could practice some of the more descriptive ones from the story, like big and soft like a sofa, or flooring that car into a yellow blur. Do either of those sound like a good place to start? Or do you have another phrase in mind?
I want to practice a more use. phrases, more common phrases available in this sentence. Paragraph.
I understand. Wanting phrases that are really common. How about we try something like at first, but then louder, or trying to make a left-hand turn? Those are things you might hear all the time. Which one should we start with?
Trying to make a left-hand turn. 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 Trying to make a left-hand turn.
Spot on. You've got that phrase perfectly. Do you want to try another common phrase, or maybe look at more chunks from the paragraph?
More chunks on the paragraph.
Okay, let's look at another piece of the paragraph. How about the phrase, everybody out of the car? That's a combination of smaller words pushed together. Want to try reading that one? Or is there another one you prefer?
Everybody. This is perfect.
Great. Which phrase should we practice next? Or did you want to look at a different chunk?
I want to practice advanced word in these paragraphs.
Advanced words, got it. We could try words like ordinary, which means common, or even pleated, which means folded like an alligator's nose. Would either of those sound good to start with?
Ordinary.
Or did you pick out a different?
Plated. Plated.
Perfect choices. Want to try saying them one by one? Let's start with ordinary. How about you read that one?
Ordinary. 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 Ordinary.
Spot on. That's perfect. Now, let's do the next one, which was pleated. Ready to try saying that?
Pleated. Pleated. Pleated.
Excellent. Looks like you've got those advanced words down. Want to try some more, or maybe go back to breaking things into chunks?
I want to finish today's practices. See you tomorrow. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome. You did great today. I'm glad I could help. Rest up, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.